That was Robert. He's back from New York.
Did he say what happened at the trial?
No, he just called to say he was going to be late. But you know what? Why don't we call it a day? Let's go out for an early dinner. I've got to close up here now anyway.
I'd like that. I don't think I can face the Quartermaines tonight.
You know, you can stay with us any time you like.
I appreciate that, Holly.
Have you seen Grant Putnam lately?
No, I haven't. Maybe I should look him up. We're in the same boat.
How do you mean?
Well, neither of us are decided quite whether to testify against Grant or not.
You know, you mustn't let his decision help you with your decision. You've got to make up your own mind.
I know that. And I had almost decided not to until today. I spoke to Grant in the courtroom.
Did you initiate the conversation?
Oh, hardly.
What did he want?
To warn me against Grant Putnam.
Warn you?
Yes, isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
What exactly did he say?
He warned me against Grant Putnam. He as much as said that if he went to prison, no one would be there to look after me. Isn't that a laugh, considering he's the one who tried to kill me?
Maybe not.
Grant is such a consummate actor that I found myself almost believing it. I mean, look at this. This is my worst enemy trying to warn me against my best friend. And I almost believed it. I guess that just shows how confused I am these days.
Well, you certainly have every right to be confused. But you know, it's kind of curious, because he sort of said a similar thing to Robert. He said that if he does go to jail, he wants Robert to look out for you.
Well, Grant is nothing if not clever, I'll give him that.
Hi, ladies. All ready to close up?
We were just on our way out the door.
Oh, well, allow me to escort you.
What's the occasion?
No occasion, just business as usual.
Well, it seems to me like you're planning something, maybe a mysterious liaison.
I wish.
I wonder.
You know, Mrs. Scorpio, you have a very suspicious mind. Well, these things happen.
Not to me, they don't. I had her right in my grasp. I had her right in my hands, and she slipped out. Not only did she slip, but she turned around and slapped me for good measure.
Maybe you pushed too hard.
I think I did. You know, occasionally when you lean on a witness, you know, they fall apart. But then sometimes, like this afternoon, they surprise you and pull themselves together. I should have stopped while I was ahead.
Easy to say now.
Yeah, yet it took a lot of guts to do what she did up on that stand. I have to admire the woman, and yet I could kill her for crippling my case.
All right. Where do we go from here?
We start all over trying to prove Andrew's motive. But now we need Grant Putnam more than ever. We need his testimony, not to mention Celia's. You know what? I saw her leave the courtroom this afternoon, and she looked like she was ready to kill somebody. Now, I think that somebody was her husband. I bet she'd be a lot more approachable as a witness for the prosecution now that she listened to her husband defend his lover in public. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you on Putnam. I'll talk to him again if you like.
Well, what about Celia?
Not just yet.
Why not?
I don't want to put any more pressure on her.
You think she'll crack?
And because the whole thing could backfire. You could find yourself with another Tanya Roscoff situation working to your disadvantage.
Well, surely she's not going to testify for her husband.
No, I wanted to testify for us.
So do I.
Well, let's not forget Valentine as mystery witness.
Forget it. I'm counting on it. There's nothing like an ace in the hole to make a district attorney's day.
Well, it's not going to stay in the hole for too long. Before you finish this case, you're going to play every card you got.
Commissioner.
Putnam.
Good evening. This is a surprise?
Yeah, well, I got some information for you. Fella should bring it over in person.
Something regarding the trial.
Indirectly, yeah. We spoke to one of those 3 DVX agents you claim tried to kill you in England.
Yes.
Fletcher. He's in a New York prison at the moment. Valentine and I went down to see him. We confronted him with your story.
I would suppose, of course, he denied the whole thing.
As a matter of fact, he didn't.
What?
He admitted he tried to kill you.
I'm surprised to hear that.
He also maintained that Grant Andrews was involved.
Yeah, I see.
So you were right.
Apparently. Please. It would seem then that my memory really is returning to me.
Just in the nick of time as far as the prosecution's concerned.
I'd expect that Fletcher will be testifying.
No.
Why? It would seem that he would be a star witness in this case.
Under different circumstances, perhaps, but don't forget that Fletcher was turned in by Grant Andrews. No prosecutor in his right mind is going to put that guy in the stand. Jake could turn around and start screaming that the guy was out for revenge, and his testimony is going to be totally discredited.
I suppose it would.
So now the way is cleared for you to testify.
Because my story has been substantiated?
Yes. We need your help.
Sorry, Commissioner. I'm sorry, but I cannot bring myself to testify against Grant. The man saved my life.
Let's not forget he also tried to take it.
Yes, I know. But his earlier actions outweigh that. I'm afraid I will not be able to help.
Well, I understand. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I was sorry you felt that way.
And I would have to say that I don't think I could live with myself if I were to take the stand against him. Even after what he tried to do to me and Celia.
Well, there's still time for you to change your mind. Hope you do. Because without your testimony, we're going to have a tough time making a good case against Grant Andrews. I, for one, don't want to see him go free.
It's already past 11 o'clock and not even a call from Valentine.
No worry, you'll have your witness.
You're pretty cool.
Takes me back to my WSB days. So you never quite knew what to expect or when.
Well, what I expect is a witness to be delivered to me on time.
Well, court doesn't start till 2. Valentine was aware of the time.
Yeah, but I don't want the mystery witness at 2 o'clock. I want him now so I can instruct him.
Even if Valentine took the later flight, you've still got plenty of time with your witness.
Yeah, if they're not paddling here by canoe.
If something had happened, Valentine would have called.
You know what this sounds like to me, Robert? A typical government fall-up. It happens all the time.
Holly,
Yes?
I think the district attorney might like a nice hot cup of coffee.
Oh, sure.
I hope it's not too much trouble.
No problem.
No, wait, just a minute. Look, I don't want to waste any more time. Yeah, if I can't have my witness here to coach, then I think I should at least go back to the office and go over my notes.
Okay.
Listen, if you hear from Valentine, give me a call.
Certainly. Will you? No worries.
Okay.
What was all that about?
Thought you heard.
Not really. Something about a witness, wasn't it?
Not a witness, the witness. The one that could help us nail down the case on Grant Andrews. What's wrong?
What makes you think something's wrong?
You have that look of disapproval all over your face.
I just don't understand you, Robert.
Well, why not?
You are really hell-bent to get Grant, aren't you?
Well, I think that's pretty obvious. Listen, what was that comment about me being hell-bent to get Grant?
I can't say it any plainer. It's one thing to do your job, Robert. It's another thing altogether to do it with such vengeance.
I am not doing it with a vengeance. I'm simply helping the DA mount the strongest possible case against a man indicted for a crime. Now, I took an oath, and as I remember, you watched me take it.
Does that oath include digging up mystery witnesses and all that claptrap?
His testimony could be crucial for our case. Now, it'd be derelict for me to not produce him.
Well, it seems to me you haven't left a stone unturned.
You know, under normal circumstances, I take that as a compliment. But I don't think that was the intention.
Oh, I admire your thoroughness.
Well, what's the problem?
There's a difference between turning up stones and doing what you're doing.
Look, what I'm simply doing is accepting responsibility for going to the DA in the first and getting him to file charges against Grant.
Covering all bases, huh?
Look, I've got to back up my case any way I can, whatever it takes.
Well, it seems to me like it's a vendetta.
Look, Holly, this is not a vendetta. In any case, you've known about this all along. Well, why the sudden sensitivity?
Good Lord, Robert. Grant saved my life. You remember? You were there.
Yeah, look, I remember. But this has nothing to do with Grant or the trial.
It does.
I'll get it.
It's undoubtedly Ballantyne with your all-important mystery witness.
I think you're being unreasonable, just a little bit out of line. I'll see you. Come in.
You sure I'm not interrupting something?
No. Holly and I are delighted to see you, aren't we?
Can I get you something, Celia?
No, thank you. I just stopped by because I had to be with someone. I couldn't stand rattling around alone in the Quartermains anymore.
Understand, Celia, I'm not trying to pressure you here, but I simply think that you should testify for the prosecution.
I'm so glad that you explained that's not pressure, Robert. Lord help Celia if you decide it should be.
Holly, please.
Just a comment.
Celia.
I'm sorry. I seem to have lost the point.
I'm trying to talk you into changing your mind and testifying against Grant.
You really think I should?
Frankly, I do, yes.
But I thought that this mystery witness that you're waiting for was going to solve all your problems.
I didn't say that.
You didn't have to. It was written all over you.
What mystery witness?
I think Robert should explain.
Holly's making a little bit more out of it than there really is. Now, we have a witness whose testimony could well have a profound effect on the verdict.
Then you really don't need me.
We need all the evidence that we can muster.
It's called nailing Grant against the wall.
It's called, for your information, thorough preparation and presentation of a case by the district attorney and the police.
Well, excuse me.
Gladly.
So who is this mystery witness?
It's funny you should ask that.
Holly, do you mind?
Robert has been searching far and wide to turn over stones and find... I think he's found a little snake who's willing to give up some poison to help the prosecution.
I don't understand.
Silly, look, this will all become clear in the court.
You're stalling, Robert.
And you've made your point.
What's going on here? Why can't you tell me about the witness?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that information just at the moment. However, if the mystery witness hasn't turned up when court reconvenes at 2 o'clock, your appearance in the witness box would be greatly appreciated.
You want me to testify this afternoon?
If our mystery witness fails to materialize, yes.
But remember, you're not under any pressure. I mean, far be it from Robert to resort to that.
Holly, we can't do without your caustic comments. Thank you.
Caustic, perhaps, but accurate and factual, definitely.
All right. Now, you want to talk facts? Here's facts. My job is to hand the DA the strongest possible case in order to secure a conviction. In that end, I'm doing my job.
You're doing it very beautifully.
Stop it, both of you, please. I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but it has nothing to do with me and my decision. I am going to go now. I'm going to be at the court this afternoon. I'll be there by 2 o'clock when it starts.
Well, I think that's very wise of you, Celia.
Do you, Robert?
Yes, I do.
Then you're jumping to conclusions.
Why?
Because that does not mean that I'm ready to get up on that stand.
You're all right. Don't worry. Everything's under control.
Under control? We're doing the courtroom in less than 10 minutes.
It's okay. I just got a call from Ballantyne. He's at the airport, and everything's fine.
Come with the witness?
Well, definitely.
Oh, good.
How about maybe later, guys?
Why did delay? Doesn't Ballantyne know I'm going to instruct the witness before you went on?
He didn't mention anything about the delay. The important thing is that they...
Well, you know, this judge does not like surprises. Now, I'll try to set the stage for the witness when we reconvene.
Doesn't the defense know he's going to testify?
I certainly hope not. We've done our best to keep his appearance a surprise.
But Jake's going to do everything to keep this guy off the stand.
I know, and I'm prepared for that. You see, he'll claim he was entitled to advance notice of the witnesses, coming in, so...
Which, of course, he was.
Going by the book, yes, but I'll just simply argue that there wasn't time.
To hear.
Who is this man?
Wearing a quiet guy.
Will he give us a statement, please?
Please.
All right, listen, thanks for your help, mate.
Yeah, well, he's all yours.
We'll take over from here. You can wait in my office until this session's over, if you like.
Right. I don't think it's the right time to meet the press.
Good luck, guys.
See you.
Okay.
Come on.
Can you tell us why he's wearing this mask? I mean, we'd like to get a statement at least before you go in there. It's got to be some I don't know.
Convene. I want to know what's the meaning of this.
With the court's permission, I would like to swear in a new witness. Again, Your Honor, in my direct examination...
Oh, hi. Haven't you seen Lorena?
Not in the last half an hour or so, but if you like, I could get an aide to try and find her.
No. I'll look for her myself. Thank you.
In view of the hour, and since I have an emergency session in my chambers on another court-related matter, I'm going to adjourn this session till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is, unless you two gentlemen have any pressing items.
I don't, not right now, Your Honor.
Neither does it... Oh, one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, there is a witness the prosecution would like to schedule for tomorrow.
I'll put the witness on call. The court will hear the request at the opening of the session tomorrow morning. Court adjourned.
All rise.
Morgan! See you tomorrow.
Well, I'd love to stay around and chat, but I must make a move.
You love it, don't you?
If you're talking about the trial, it's hardly a love affair.
Duty, honor.
Responsibility as the police commissioner.
Since when does the police commissioner attend every day of a trial? I thought your job ended with the arrest.
I used to think that too, but now I know differently.
Oh, the DA needs you that badly?
As it turns out, I have provided a rather important witness whose testimony is going to be crucial.
Who?
That's the door.
Who?
Just get the door. Come on. Up you go.
Good morning, Holly. I hope it's not too early.
No, we've been up for hours.
What can I do for you, Grant?
In fact, it was Holly I wanted to see. I need a favor. You see, I'm testifying today, and I don't think that Celia should be there.
Why?
Because I may have to say some things that could hurt her very badly.
I see.
You'll speak with her then? I think you'll agree it's for her own good.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you very much. Robert, I'm on my way to the courthouse now, if you'd like a ride.
Oh, no, thanks, Grant. I've got something to discuss here with Holly.
Of course. Thank you once again, Holly.
Good luck in court.
Don't you dare tell Celia not to come.
Robert, Celia has been hurt already, and I'm not about to stand around and watch it continue indefinitely.
Hurt, is she? Well, that's what you think.
Look at her. Talk to her.
Well, hurt's a whole lot better than dead, which is what she could be if Grant gets off. Hmm?
Assuming he's guilty.
It's not an assumption.
Innocent until proven guilty. That's how it works in this country, you know?
Yeah, well, that's why this case is so crucial. But it's just kind of difficult proving that, beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, to 12 impartial strangers. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I am. But can't you leave Celia out of this?
You know the answer to that question.
Yes, I know. Her testimony makes all the difference.
Yeah, which is why I want her in court today, tomorrow, and for as long as it takes, until she realizes it's her duty to testify.
Isn't Grant Putnam enough?
Oh, he's just one more doubt in the eyes of the jury. But you see, her testimony against her husband could seal this case up.
You're like a hanging judge.
It's my job.
It's a vendetta.
He's guilty.
Then he'll be convicted without Celia.
What if he gets off, though, huh? Huh? What if he gets off? What about Celia then, eh?
Oh, go on. Don't give me that you're worried about Celia and what she's going through.
Well, she'll get over it.
She's not a pawn, you know. She's a person. She has a right to make her own decision.
Yeah? So what are you going to tell her? That she shouldn't go? Hmm?
Don't worry, I'm going to represent both sides fairly and equally to her. I'm going to tell her that Grant Putnam wants her to stay away, and you want her to go, and she can make up her own mind.
And you tell her that her life might depend on it. You tell her that,
Oh,
right?
I'm sure she's aware of that already.
Yeah, well, we'll see, Holly. We'll see, won't we, eh? We'll see who's right here, yeah. Yeah. And another thing.
Mark, Holly, come on in. I didn't hear you say.
Oh, I didn't have to ring it. Stella was outside watering. She told me to come right on in. Hi, Jimmy.
Holly, how are you?
Well, things haven't been the easiest of times.
Oh, they haven't.
So what's bringing you here today? You just caught us. We were just out the door.
Yeah, I was going to take Celia on a ride out in the country.
Oh, well then Grant Putnam's offer won't mean much to you.
His offer?
Well, actually, it was a request. The district attorney is putting him up on the stand today, and he stopped by and asked that you not go to the courthouse today.
Why?
He feels certain that things will come up that will be upsetting for you.
Oh, well, certainly nothing that ever happened between himself and me.
No, I think he means more things that he's going to be forced to say about Grant. I mean, your Grant, your husband.
Then he is going to testify against him.
I don't think for or against is the issue here. Robert made it sound like Grant Putnam has some new and damaging evidence against your Grant. And Grant Putnam knows how much you've been through and feels like this would be adding insult to injury.
I agree, Celia. You don't know what he might say up there.
No, no one does. That's why I have to go.
You know, it might turn out to be another humiliating experience for you.
I have to know what's going on.
Read the transcripts later.
No, hearing it in person is the only way to understand it. Seeing it on a page is... I'll just never know how it was said, and inflection is everything.
Celia, just because Robert has the lofty title of police commissioner does not mean you have to do everything he says, believe me.
And what Grant Putnam might say up there could be devastating to you.
You remember Tanya's testimony?
I'm still going.
Why?
Because my husband is on trial.
What about what your friends think? Doesn't that matter to you?
I'm doing this because I have to. Not because Robert wants me to, or because you and Grant Putnam don't want me to. I'm doing it because I feel an obligation. And I know the right thing for me to do is be in that courtroom today.
I'm telling you that we have some absolutely fabulous stuff.
Please, take it easy, okay? She'll answer all questions later, okay?
Just
take it easy.
All right, thank you.
Glad you could make it, Celia.
I hope I'm not too late.
Just a small recess is all. All right.
Hi, is Putnam on the stand yet?
Yeah, he's on the stand now. The prosecutor's just putting him through the paces, and it's up to Jake for the cross-examination.
What has been said?
Not to worry. Putnam's been excellent. This Jake's look-alike theory's got him nowhere.
There's always been that question.
Well, as you recall, I looked into the possibility of Putnam impersonating Grant and couldn't find any evidence to substantiate it.
What if Jake has?
If he has, he's keeping it to himself. And that's all.
The recess is over. Please, everyone return to the courtroom.
Justice.
Thank you for the ride. Thanks.
Good luck, huh?
Mrs. Scorpio, is there anything you wish to say at this point?
No comment.
Thank you.
I hope she knows what she's doing.
She'll be okay. She'll be fine. Look, Holly, would you have coffee with me?
No, thanks.
How about some tea?
No, I'm gonna wait here.
The coffee and the tea are just an excuse. I really think that we should talk.
In reference to Celia?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about Kelly's?
Sure.
You betcha.
How about the menus?
There you
And
go.
we'll let you know what in a little bit, okay?
Okay, just holler. I'll be over here. Let me know when you're ready.
I suppose we shouldn't really worry too much about Celia. I mean, she's always been very good at bouncing back.
You took her back a long way, don't you?
Finishing school in Europe.
You really care about her. I can see that.
Well, I suppose when you know somebody for a long time, you instinctively want to protect them.
I wonder why that is.
Fear of losing them, or not wanting to see them hurt, like with a child.
She sure has that quality, doesn't she?
You know, it's funny. When we were at school together, she had this obsession with wanting to be grown up. I mean, the rest of us were quite happy to be Daddy's little girls for as long as we possibly could, but she wanted to be a grown-up. She tried harder than any of us, but she still kept that little girl quality.
Come on, is there anything wrong with that?
No. Men love it. Look at the two Grants. They're both enamored with her. Look at yourself.
Wait a second. I wouldn't call myself exactly enamored by her.
I would.
That is exactly what I want to talk to you about. Holly, you got the wrong idea about me. And I care about Celia, but the same way you do. I want to protect her. That's all I want.
But there was a time.
Yes, I know there was a time I was in love with her and I did some crazy things. Stupid things. But when I found out that I couldn't have her, I substituted those feelings. I substituted those feelings for feelings of friendship.
But why? Most men in that position would feel resentment.
So what you're saying is that I settled for second best. I couldn't have her as a lover, so I decided to have her as a friend.
You put it very well.
Well, it's not true. I admire her. And anything I see her do is because I want to see her have what's best for her.
In other words, you have no ulterior motive?
No, I don't.
Well, that's very refreshing, but I don't see what that has to do with me.
Holly's got everything to do with you. Celia doesn't have many friends in Port Charles. She has some family, but not many friends. And I think that the two friends she does have should get along. At least try to get along.
I'll admit I don't like arguing in front of her.
So let's not do it. At least let's try not to do it in front of her.
Well, we can make an attempt, see what happens.
I knew you'd understand.
I'm still going to say what I think, though.
Nobody's asking you not to. Let's just try to keep our act together in front of her, okay?
Okay.
Good. Now that that's out of the way, I'm starving. How about if I buy you some lunch?
We'll go Dutch.
No. I'm buying. I don't want to hear anything about it. Rose?
Yeah.
Can we order, please?
Sure, you bet.
We're going Dutch.
No, we're not. I'm buying this. I'm telling you.
What is it with the road?
Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, I got the word from the city. Unless someone can change the plans, this half of Kelly's is scheduled for demolition to make room for the new waterfront housing development project they're bringing in here.
No, you're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
What? Oh, can't you fight it?
Hey, I'm trying.
I hope that means you're getting yourself a good attorney.
Well, I did have Jake, but now I've got John Everett.
Oh, the ex-man?
Uh-huh. They say he's good.
Yeah, too bad it's not Jake, though.
Well, Jake really wanted to take the case, but he's just so tied up with this Grant Andrews trial.
So's everybody, it seems.
It seems like everybody in this town is involved in that trial one way or another.
All we can hope for is that it's over with soon.
Oh, don't count on it, Rose.
The way it seems, that trial might go on forever. The state calls Robert Scorpio to the stand.
Mr. Scorpio, if you'd come forward. Mr. Putnam, you may step down, but we ask that you stay in the courtroom for possible cross-examination at a later time.
Yes, sir.
I will remind Mr. Scorpio that he is still under oath. Prosecution may proceed to the question.
Mr. Scorpio, you heard Mr. Putnam's accusation, did you not?
I heard it.
Is there anything that you can tell the court that would support that accusation?
I have the proof you're looking for.
Please continue.
Grant Putnam came to me with this information about a week ago. He claimed that he identified the three people that were in the hotel room and who tried to abduct him.
Was Grant Andrews one of those three people?
Yes, he was. Though at the time his name was Andre Chern, the DVX spy.
Was Mr. Putnam able to identify the other people in the room?
Yes, he was. A woman agent, now deceased, and a man named Fletcher, currently doing time in a New York prison.
That's a lie. I had nothing to do with that end of the operation.
What did you do when Mr. Putnam came to you with this revelation?
Well, I was a bit skeptical at first, so I checked it out.
By talking to the other DVX agent, Fletcher?
He was interviewed in prison by both myself and Ted Valentine from the World Security Bureau.
What did you learn in that interview?
Fletcher admitted to being in the room, along with Grant Andrews, and that together they planned the death of Grant Putnam.
Do something. Objection, Your Honor. This is hearsay.
Objection overruled.
What was that plan?
To throw Grant Putnam off a cliff.
Did Fletcher say that Grant Andrews was involved in carrying out that plan?
Yes, he did. He maintained that both Andrews and himself threw Putnam off the cliff.
You're a witness, Counselor.
How did this Fletcher character end up in prison?
He was arrested for espionage.
What led to that arrest?
He was turned in by a former DVX spy.
By Grant Andrews, isn't that so?
Yes, by Grant Andrews.
In a deal made by Mr. Andrews with the WSB and the State Department, that he would turn over all the DVX co-spies in return for political asylum. Isn't that correct?
I believe that was the deal, yes.
So, Grant Andrews blew Fletcher's cover, and now Fletcher is in prison, right?
You could say that.
So Fletcher hates Andrews, doesn't he?
There's no love lost between them.
No, I use the word hate. That's very important. He does hate him, doesn't he?
You'd have to ask Fletcher.
I'm asking you, Commissioner. Was the word hate used by Fletcher when talking about Grant Andrews?
Frankly, I don't recall.
Grant Andrews was never in that room in England. Fletcher only said that for revenge against the man who put him behind bars.
Objection, Your Honor.
Commissioner, the whole testimony is based on hearsay. I have no more questions, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to redirect?
We do not, Your Honor.
Then before we adjourn, may I ask the prosecution if they are resting its case?
No, Your Honor. The state reserves the right to call another witness on Monday.
In that case, the court's adjourned till 9 a.m. Monday morning when the prosecution will present its final witness.
All rise.
I would rather comment at a later date.
All of it is on. This is a must situation. I have got to have Celia.
All right, I'll work on it.
She's all we've got at this point. Now, we've established the possibility, but we still haven't established the motive.
Putnam wasn't much help.
Thanks to Fletcher.
All right, I'll take the blame for that.
Well, face it, Meyer may have been right. Fletcher may have told that whole story just to get even with Andrews.
In that case, why did Putnam bring it up?
Who knows? Our only concern is to get Celia on that stand.
Here's my chance. Sit in. Listen, I want to explain to you today exactly what went on in that court in there.
Well, that was pretty obvious. Grant Putnam said that it was my husband that tried to kill him 8 years ago.
Yeah, but you see, the jury wasn't all that responsive.
You don't think they believed him?
Their evidence was circumstantial. Matter of fact, the DA says that we don't get any tests from him providing motive. This guy could walk on us.
You don't have to say it. You think that I'm the only one that can provide that?
Conclusively, yes. You've got to get up there and state what you heard Tanya and Grant say on the night of the festival.
What if I refuse to get up on the stand?
Then we may lose this case. Now, are you prepared to do it? You've got to know quick.
All right, yes, I am willing to testify for the prosecution.
Right. Good. Celia, she wants to talk to me.
Well, she knows she's going to get her chance in court, right?
Yes, but she wants to talk to me before that. As a matter of fact, she's on her way over now.
What do you think she wants?
I don't know.
What are you worried she wants?
I think she's having second thoughts about testifying.
I only slept 5 minutes last night.
I'd say that's understandable.
Well, I hope it's understandable why I've come today.
I assume you've got a case of the last-minute jitters.
Worse than that, second thoughts.
Well, that's also understandable.
I'd expected you to be angry.
Look, right from the start, I've had nothing but your best intentions at heart. This is your decision, and it always will be.
I know, it just has gotten so important.
Well, maybe not. Maybe the jury made their minds up a week ago.
Robert and the district attorney just want to make sure that the undecideds are decided by the time the jury goes out.
In other words, that Grant is guilty and that he belongs in prison.
That's what we're after. Yep.
What will the DA ask me?
Well, nothing you won't be able to answer.
It will get so personal, though.
Love, they're only going to ask you questions about the things that you know.
Nobody is asking you to speculate or draw conclusions.
Yes, you're going to be put on the stand to testify regarding facts about the case. After that, it's up to the DA to engineer the case for the jury.
The fellow that made up the law about spouses not being required to testify against one another was very bright. This is an awful decision, Robert.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Holly, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask you this. Do you think your husband tried to kill you?
Yes, I do.
Do you think he should be punished?
It's not what I want.
Well, that's not the issue.
I know. Justice is the issue. I guess I've known that all along.
I think you'll do just fine.
I'd feel a lot better if you could come along, would you, Holly?
I would love to. It's just, it's a limited admission.
Robert, could you get permission for her to come?
Yeah. I'll explain the whole thing to the DA and what the circumstances are. I'm sure they'll allow it.
Thank you. If it is all right, I'd really feel better if you were there.
Oh, I'd love to be there. Help you any way I can.
Thanks.
Well, we better get going. Celia's got a big day ahead of her.
Yes, and whether Grant knows it or not, so does he.
Shall we?
All right.
It's all right. I've got it. Come on.
Oh, that's it, Robert. Ball's in their court now.
What do you think?
Well, I don't want to sound too boastful, but this last testimony may have made all the difference in the world.
Yeah. She was good, wasn't she?
Yeah, real trooper. But she said her biggest fear, Andrews could be let off. I mean, we had him. I mean, I don't care what Mark comes up with. It's going to be 12-0 to convict.
You are definitely going to come and have dinner with us tonight, okay? I'm not letting you fight this battle all on your own.
I'll be all right, Holly, really.
Celia, you're not a very good liar. I'm not letting you out of my sight.
Are we going to wait for Robert?
No, as a matter of fact, I think we should get out of here before he comes out.
At least look at me.
Miss Andrews, there she is. We have a few questions.
Your husband
How do you feel about Sperry? Is there a reason why you want to divorce him away? A couple of questions that we have to ask you. How about the divorce? You asked for 1 minute to the witness stand. We just want some answers. That's right. Just say a few words for us. That's all we ask you.
All right, gentlemen, that's it. Ladies had a tough day.
We've had a tough day, too, Commissioner. Hey, just give us a couple of quotes, then we'll go. Yeah, that's
You want a couple of quotes? All right. No comment and good night. Let's go.
Let's hear it for freedom.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Scorpio, how do you do? How do you do?
Holly, please. Claudia says that you're visiting for a while.
Oh, well, somebody's got to get this little niece of mine ready for the big event.
And I hear it is going to be a big event.
A big
event. Good one.
Well, you know how Claudia is. She likes to do everything on the grand scale.
The doctor isn't expecting any complications, though, is she?
No, but you never can tell, and I'm going to Philadelphia for some tests. Yes, my husband, Claudia's Uncle Frank, is head of obstetrics at a very fine hospital there. But I will be back in time to help with preparations for the charity ball. Up. Leave some time for shopping, Claudia, dear. You know you've got to get baby clothes, baby furniture.
As you can see, Claudia's family likes to pepper. In this case, I don't mind one bit.
Yeah, well, no arguments for me either. Should we find a seat, Paul? Yeah.
Go on, go ahead, this one over here.
Oh,
Well, I think I might have another one.
You pig, you've already had 2 hot dogs.
Well, come on, any American worthy salt should be able to sock away at least 6.
Having a good time, are you?
So much so that I might let off these cherry bombs I have in my pocket later on.
That's illegal.
It's July the 4th.
You're really getting into the spirit of this, aren't you?
Hot dogs, corn on the cob, all those chicks running about in those little shorts and funny tops. You know, I can see why the Yanks go for this holiday.
They're supposed to be celebrating independence.
Oh, yeah, all right, well, I like that too. I mean, I even had a tear in my eye when they were playing America the Beautiful.
You? Really? Weren't you the one who uttered the quote, patriotism is the last refuge of scoundrels?
Doesn't apply here. This is patriotism from the heart.
You know, it's a shame Celia couldn't be here. I hope she's all right.
Yeah, well, look, let's forget about that trial for the moment and get back to some heavy celebrating.
Independence Day. You know, it's a shame I don't have mine yet.
Oh, you're the most independent woman I know of.
Yeah, but you don't always approve of it.
But you see, you can't have too much of a good thing unless, of course, it's me.
Robert, that's what I've been telling you about.
What?
Look. You see?
Yeah. What do I look?
First Leo worked on Sylvia, and now he's moving on to Mrs. Barrington.
It isn't your imagination to take a holiday.
Oh, Amanda!
Say, could I interest you in a game of horseshoes, Commissioner?
Well, I'd like to, but I haven't played that game before.
It's an easy mark. Come along.
What's he mean by
horseshoe?
Holly?
Can you?
Enjoying yourself?
Yes, very much.
You know the nicest thing about a picnic?
The ants?
No, I said the nicest part. A long walk in the woods.
Not alone, of course.
Nah, no fun alone at all.
Red alert, hubby's back.
Oh, hi, Commissioner. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Nice talking to you, Mrs. Scorpio.
All I see is a rather over-enthusiastic masseur that can't keep his paws off women, regardless of the age.
Condescending attitude is exactly what I meant by independence. I want equality, and I'm fed up with you not taking anything I say seriously.
But, darling, I do.
No, you don't. I mean, you seem to think that I spend all my time making up stories just to compete with you and your work.
Why don't you come and watch me throw a few horseshoes with Lee, eh? Like that?
You haven't listened to a word I said, have you?
Well,
Holly, we're going over to Kelly's. You want to join us? If you do, just meet us there, okay?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Mr. Macho here is going to go and pitch horseshoes. With any luck, one might land in his mouth.
Three-legged race, even if you wanted to be in it.
And why not? Too.
Well, you're awfully quiet, Holly.
Oh, I'm just enjoying listening to all of you. I think I'm going to make myself some tea.
I think I will sit down.
Hail the conquering hero. Yes, you are? Oh, what sort of a day am I having? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm having a very good day.
What's that?
A symbol of my victory and a token of my undying affection. Say you'll be mine and make me the happiest man in the world.
You're very silly.
I'm also giddy with victory, not to mention a few other things.
How did you manage to win? You told me you've never played horseshoes before.
It was a tiny lie. We do have a similar game back in Australia. Much tougher, though, you see. Horses, the shoes are still on the horse.
What a man.
No matter what sort of a man I may think I am, I'm not going to go on without you.
I love you.
Come on home.
All right. But you still have an awful lot to learn about women, you know.
Well, I'm of average intelligence and prepared to learn. How's about the first lesson tonight?
Really?
You can be the boss.
I think I'm going to like this.
Which way do you want to go? This way? Bye, all.
Bye. Bye.
I'll see you.
Without you.
I love you.
Come on home.
Are you sure I'm not intruding?
Oh, no, not at all. I had the day off from the spa anyway.
I just didn't want to be alone today.
Any particular reason?
Didn't Holly tell you?
I wasn't sure if you'd want me to.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm just a little nervous about Grant. Aren't you?
Not especially.
Isn't it rather unusual for a defendant to be taking a stand in his own defense?
It's unusual, but not unheard of.
Any idea why he's doing it?
Well, my guess is he's probably hoping that a personal plea to the jury will in some way sway them.
Well, I can't imagine what he could say to refute all that evidence.
Why don't you go to the court today with Robert?
Well, she can't. As a witness, she's not able to sit in.
No, I wouldn't want to anyway.
Why?
Because it would be too painful watching him up on that stand, knowing that my own husband...
I think I better make a move. Where's my briefcase, love?
In the communications room.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Why are you so upset about Grant taking the stand?
Oh, Holly, it's...
Excuse me?
Has Robert left yet, Holly?
No. As a matter of fact, he's just in the communications room. Hang on a second.
Robert, thank goodness you're here. I have to speak with you.
What about?
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. That's why I had to speak with Robert.
Let's have it.
I received this morning.
It's a subpoena.
For what?
From the defense. They want me to appear today.
But you've already appeared.
For the prosecution.
Have you spoken to the DA about this?
No. I thought it would be simpler if I came directly to you. Do you know what this is about?
No. I've got no idea what the defense is up to.
Does he have to testify again?
I'm afraid so.
I would feel vastly better if I knew what the reason was for this.
My only advice, Grant, is you're going to have to appear in court. Jake Mayer's going to give you a reason soon enough.
Why was
On the
Bud
Quartermain
subpoenaed
property.
again?
Specifically in the
I'd love
gatehouse.
to know what he's got up his sleeve. What in the hell is he up to?
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Hey, Commissioner, how about a statement? Just one.
Mr. Commissioner!
Betty, what is it?
Mrs. Scorpio asked me to tell you to call her.
Look, tell her I'll call her later.
She said it's an emergency.
Did she say about what?
No, just that it was urgent.
Okay, thanks.
Hello?
What's up?
Oh, I'm so glad Betty caught you.
Well, it's a madhouse here, love. What is it?
I'm sorry, I know, and I wouldn't have called you if it wasn't an emergency.
No, I realize that, but what is it?
It's Celia. She's gone.
What do you mean gone?
Well, I went upstairs to take a shower, and I left her down here in the living room. When I came back, she just wasn't here.
Well, didn't she leave a note?
No, nothing.
Have you tried the Quartermain house?
Yeah, she's not there.
She's not going to do something foolish.
That is precisely what I'm worried about.
To O'Halloran. You'll know exactly where in the computer bank to look for. All right.
Celia! What's going on? All right, everybody back, all right? Now, back!
What are you doing here?
I couldn't stay away.
I told you not to come.
I know, I'm sorry, but every time I thought of Grant being on the stand today, I just started to go crazy.
That's exactly what they would love to talk about. Now, is that what you want to happen?
No, it isn't. It's just that I had to know what was going on.
Celia, best guess. Otherwise, they're going to accuse me of grandstanding just by having you here.
I'm sorry. What's gone on so far?
Well, Jake asked Grant some questions. The DA did the same thing.
How did it go?
Jake made him look good. The DA made him look bad. I mean, what else can you expect?
I don't know. So what happens next?
Well, the defense rested its case.
And?
Trial's all over, bar the summations. The DA's about to get up and present his case to the jury now.
I want to stay.
You can't.
Why not? I'm
Because
involved
you're
in this
not
case as much as anyone else.
Because you're not allowed.
Well, it's unfair.
Look, kindly just go back to the house. Holly's worried about you. Now I'll tell you everything that happens when I get back.
But I want to be...
Celia, I'm not asking. I'm telling.
All right.
Mr. Sands, all right, everybody back. All right, please, gentlemen, a little decorum.
Thank you. Let's go this way. Before we go,
Yes?
I'm curious.
About what?
Why are you so upset?
Because I am concerned about Grant, that's all.
Concerned about what? That the jury will find him guilty? Or concerned that they won't? I want to walk you out.
When they see him, surely when the police commissioner of Port Charles, a former trained WSB agent, a man skilled in detecting even the smallest deviation in behavior, identifies Grant Andrews in a given situation, we can believe him. The people who saw Grant Andrews...
Court's in session.
I know, you can always tell. The place is always deserted then, except for the press diehards hanging around the hallway. They're like hyenas.
Oh, right. This isn't your first time here, is it?
No, but I hope it's the last.
Well, it should be. Robert said they should be giving it to the jury today, maybe even by lunchtime.
You know what that means?
The verdict might be in today.
A case calculated to cloud your better... Andrews is a clever, cunning man. Professionally trained. The prosecution wants it both ways. I say my client is neither. I say my client... Explain how. He can't even offer any proof as to whether or not it's possible. Nor can a paid medical expert. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen. This is not valid evidence to me.
You can talk all day. It's not going to do any good.
Do you suppose it'll address Celia's testimony?
Not if he's smart.
For dead. But he was rescued. By the United States government. Now, I can't speak for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Judge will instruct the jury to ignore the whole spiel. Why?
It's going to take a lobotomy.
Andrew's guilt or innocence. I'd like you to keep in mind one thing.
Enough. You may retire now, and good luck.
Well, Jake's speech was eloquent.
Then they're out.
Yeah. The judge has given the jury his instructions, and they've been taken off to their chambers.
What did Jake say?
Oh, that Grant was innocent and that Putnam was guilty. He also raised a few interesting questions. Anybody not familiar with the facts of this case might even believe that Grant Andrews was innocent.
What about the jury?
Hard to say. I mean, Morgan's right when he says, you know, which way's the jury's going to jump. You just don't know.
Well, don't you have a personal opinion, Robert?
I think they'll convict him. Your testimony was far too important for Jake to ignore in his summation. Now, the judge has instructed the jury to give their verdict solely upon the facts presented. That alone should bring in a guilty verdict.
If he is found guilty, what would be the sentence?
The maximum is 25 years.
I didn't have any idea.
It could be less. I mean, a lot less. Judge takes many things into consideration before pronouncing sentence.
25 years.
Maybe we'd better get on home.
No. I want to stay for the verdict.
Could take quite a while.
I don't care. I don't want to go home.
Can we stay here?
I've got a better idea. Let's have lunch.
We might miss it.
No, there's a small sandwich shop just around the corner. Now, I'll leave some instructions here that we're to be notified as soon as the jury come back.
Let's do it, Celia. It might take your mind off it for a while.
No, I doubt it, but all right. Robert, do you think it might take the jury more than one day?
For Grant's sake, that would be best. Traditionally, the longer a jury is out, the less chance of a conviction.
I hope. I don't know, but I hope.
Come on, let's get out of here. What do you think will happen to the men?
Granton said.
Yes.
Well, I would imagine they'll go their own way. I mean, he's going to be out of circulation for a while. But even if he'd been acquitted, I can't imagine. I'll get them. Yeah. Oh, g'day, Bert. Well, what's up? Did he say why? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll meet him first thing. Fine. Bye. Speak of the devil.
Grant?
I was afraid of this.
What?
He wants to see me.
Why?
Well, all he said to Bert was that it was very important and personal.
Do you think it has something to do with the conviction?
Your guess is as good as mine. But whatever his reason, I'm not looking forward to seeing him. I've been dreading this for weeks. The way you put it to Bert, he wants to speak to Robert the friend rather than Robert the cop.
Is that good or bad?
Either way, it's awkward. I mean, considering how hard I worked to build a case against him.
You were doing your job.
Even you accused me of approaching it with a touch too much enthusiasm.
Well, I'm sure Grant knows you did what you had to do.
Well, he should. When we're both agents in the field, he should respect my professionalism, if nothing else.
But as you said, he may want to see you as a friend, not as a fellow pro.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. I was Grant's only friend after he defected. I helped him through a lot.
He saved the life of your wife.
I don't think I'll ever forget that. That's why facing him today is going to be even harder. Damn it, I wish things had worked out differently.
You having second thoughts about the verdict?
Oh, no. I believe that justice was served.
Well, you can tell Grant that?
I'm not going in there to make points.
No, I didn't expect you would be.
I'll listen to him, wish him well, and Lord knows he's going to need it.
It's my life, but you'd never know that listening to Father and Edward talking.
Yes, I can imagine.
You can't believe how much pressure they're putting on me to divorce Grant.
Yeah, but why are they so anxious? I mean, is it for your own good or is it for theirs?
How do you mean?
Well, I imagine that they're filled with all this notoriety that the family name is being tarnished.
Oh, yes, I'm sure they do.
Now, how do you feel about it?
The Quartermain name, I couldn't care less how dirty it gets.
No, I mean, how do you feel about divorcing Grant?
It's the last thing I could do to him right now. And the thought of consulting with lawyers and starting divorce proceedings, all that just makes me feel sick. I just can't go through with it. Not yet, anyway.
I know how you feel. I mean, he's just been found guilty of attempted murder. He's waiting for his sentencing. He's already on the ropes. To hit him with divorce proceedings now would certainly constitute cruel and unusual punishment.
He has enough trouble without it.
Yeah, I agree. Just give him at least some time to adjust to prison life.
I need some time, too. I just want to stop the world so I can catch up.
Yeah, well, who doesn't?
All I need is a week or two to sort things out.
I think you probably need a little more time than that to get used to all the changes. Now is no time to be making decisions that affect your future.
Aha, tell my father that.
All you can reasonably expect to do is just to tread water. Just maintain until things settle down a bit. And you have the chance to see what's ahead for you.
I don't know if I can keep my head above water, but I certainly must try.
Well, the first step is try to take overbearing relatives off your back.
You're right. I'm going to go straight home and tell Father what I think of divorcing Grant right now.
Yes, I would if I were you.
Once I get him safely back to Long Island, then I'll have a little breathing space.
I think it'll make all the difference in the world to you. And really, you've got to get control of your life now, because if you don't do it now, I don't think you'll be able to.